It's Elizabeth from the Toy Hoarder. Today I have a toy mod video for you. I know I have not done one of these in a while, guys, so I figured it was about time that I posted one. This one is actually two different toy mods, a Combat Carl and a Combat Carl Jr. from Toy Story of Terror. Now first I'm going to tell you why I needed to make this toy mod. There have only been 3 different Combat Carls that they have made as toys. The initial Toy Story of Terror Combat Carl is this little guy, which is supposed to be, I believe, Combat Carl, not Combat Carl Jr., but he's nowhere near the right size. So I'm really not impressed, guys. I mean, I got him because he's the only one they have, but they also made another set later. These came out for Toy Story 4, and they came with the posable antique set. It came with Gabby, Woody, Buzz, you know, the whole gang of the posable characters, Forky, and then these 2 little guys. Unfortunately, they didn't make the 3rd one, which is really disappointing. I wanted the white one as well. But they made these guys even smaller, so I don't know. And then this is one of the modded ones, which I'll tell you more about him in a minute, but they're even smaller than this regular smaller G.I. Joe. So I don't know. The ones that they made are really odd and none of them are the right size, so that was not working out for me. I really wanted a movie-sized Combat Carl. And then if I was gonna do that, I had to have his 1/3 scale counterpart, Combat Carl Jr. So I'm gonna talk about Combat Carl Jr. first because he's easier to discuss the toy mod, but I'm gonna tell you how I made both of these. So I purchased this little guy as just a regular G.I. Joe figure. Unfortunately, he does have this hat that doesn't come off, but he was the closest with his particular outfit and face. I made these a while ago, and so I don't remember exactly all of the details that I have added, but I know I have colored through this whole vest and added the little bullet thing, the zipper, the belt, the spots. The watch already came on him. I did add his mustache and I made his eyebrows a little bit thicker. I cannot remember if I had to modify the back of his hair at all or not. I may have at least gone over it so that it would be the same shiny part as his mustache and his eyebrows. There's also a little bitty pocket that I added in here. I don't know how you can see it because of the glare. I'm sorry. Over here where his side pocket is. So it's not super great and highly detailed. I also added this part. These extra lines around his knife sheath that he's got there. So he is close-ish to the accurate Combat Carl Jr. Here is the big Combat Carl, and here's his 1/3 scale counterpart. So if I put his arm down, you can get a better idea of this. So now you can almost reach the top of his head. I feel like this is closer to the scale that it is supposed to be versus this really, really little thing that they made for Toy Story 4. And then this is off scale too. It's at least a little bit taller. Maybe this is closer to the right scale, the one that they made that's supposed to be actually Combat Carl. I don't know, you guys, but there's a lot more modification that went into this guy, so I'll show you up close. Lots of stuff happened on him. I initially got just a plain G.I. Joe doll. Now, I do not collect G.I. Joe dolls normally. This is the only G.I. Joe doll that I own, and I own it, of course, because I needed a Combat Carl. So I did spend some time with Dustin, and we were trying to look up to figure out which G.I. Joe doll this was in case you guys would like to make one on your own. And we think that it is the G.I. Joe U.S. Airborne Ranger Halo Parachutist, which is a 1996 limited edition classic collection figure, which is not as rare and expensive as it sounds like. It's about $25, which is what an average G.I. Joe will cost you these days. And that's, you know, new in the box with all his clothes and everything. You really don't need any of his clothes because everything else was modded. So then I got some 12-inch figure doll clothes that were the pants, so I could have camo pants. The same thing with the boots, the belt. I bought a separate zipper that is actually glued into this vest that I glued and sewed other mesh onto. You can see in the back, since I didn't really need anything on the back, I literally just hot glued it so that it would fit appropriately on him. I mean, when I do a toy mod, I want it to be the easiest and the cheapest form I can make it that still looks good and is playable. These grenades are actually charms, little jewelry charms, and I have stitched them on with thread onto here. I added with a tiny Sharpie C Carl at the top, These bullets were just gold, and I painted the red and the black on them so it looks more movie accurate. Then I also added his mustache in this peak in his hair so that it looked more appropriately like Combat Carl himself. So lots of modifications, but nothing that was really that extensive. So I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe are inspired to make one of your own. If you do, or if you have, do jump on Twitter or Facebook and send me a picture, because I would love to see your toy mods of Combat Carl or Combat Carl Jr. Or if you have a YouTube video, put the link in the comments and I'll check it out. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you like what you saw today, please, please, please hit that subscribe button down below. And of course, go check out my channel for plenty more content, including toy mods, toy reviews, and all kinds of things toys and fun related. Until next time, have a great time playing. Bye.